Alright, so today we have a little machining project. I've got the cylinder for the Timberjack that we've been working on, and we need to get the eyes in the frame to be good. So the eyes are completely missing their spherical bearings, and the cylinder is going clunk clunk about 1.5 inches of play. Really pretty sloppy. So what we're going to do, I bought new sphericals. So you can see these are sealed, so they probably hold the grease a little bit longer. They are, unfortunately, they say China on them, so they may be junk. But didn't know it till I got here. Disappointing. But we're going to make a little collar that goes in the frame out of this 4-inch cold rolled I have here. And I got a little snap ring. I've got 2 of these, one for either end. So the idea is I can line bore the machine frame, and I could just press this in, but there's nothing to really keep it from popping out one side or the other. So I thought to do it a little bit better, we'd go and take this cold rolled and we'll make 2 little bushings, sleeves, whatever you want to call them. We'll have a little shoulder on them, and it'll step down, and this will press into the frame. We'll probably make this 3 3/4, something like that, so we have a nice little lip on it, because these are a little under 3. And then we'll bore it out and leave a lip inside, so this will press down to the bottom and bottom out on that bottom lip, and then we'll be able to drop a snap ring in, and that'll make our cylinders nice and tight and give us good steering. So let's make these, and then I'll probably put them in tomorrow, so maybe I can put this all in one video, and I'll show you making the bushings, and then we'll line bore the machine, and then we'll press the bushings in, weld a bead around them so they don't come out, and press these babies in there with a snap ring and be ready to put the cylinder in. So let's get this cut, get it chucked up in the lathe, and get some parts. This might take a minute, so you might want to settle in, and luckily we'll speed it up for you. I'll even cut lefties. Victory. Let's put this in the lathe. So today we're going to be working in the EM550. It's a knockoff of a Cadillac lathe. It's a nice little machine. 3 jaws should be fine for this. Alright, so that cleaned up nicely. Pretty good finish, nice and smooth. And we're going to dimple the center so we can put a steady in there. Might as well, I guess. And we'll shape the outside. We're going to leave a ridge in the middle, because we're making 2 of these at once. So I'm going to turn, this will be the lip that presses against the frame. And then it'll step down and come out. That'll be 1. We'll part it in the middle of that, and then it'll be a second one on this side. So we'll turn this face in. I don't really care about facing off or smoothing off the surface of the flange, because it's getting welded anyway. And this is cold rolled. It's pretty good for dimension. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of measuring here. Mark this, turn this down to where we want it. Call that good. I was aiming for 3.5, but I haven't bored the holes yet. We're at 3.50. Looks like 3.5020. Pretty darn close. For what we're doing, we'll be just fine. So next, we're going to drill it and bore it. Bring in our chuck. That's as big as the drill bits I've got here go. So we'll switch over to a boring bar. Just starting the first cut here. So it's getting there. Needs to get bored more, but the backside here where the jaws are, it's getting close to crashing into the jaws. So I'm gonna flip it around and see if I can get it inside, so I've got plenty of clearance to finish my bore. This will work nice. So I think I'm gonna face this. I'll turn the outside, break the corners, and then I'll bore this. That's the right size. So, break our corners. So we're going to have it stop 0.2 inches from the bottom of the cup. This 1.5 inch thick frame it's going into. It's about this thick here. That's about 1.5 inch. But I want to have the bottom stop. I think 0.2 is going to be thick enough that it'll support it, but it'll only be 0.1 inches high, and they'll be matching. It shouldn't make a bit of difference in this application. So I'm going to use my dial indicator. Bring it up so it engages. Set to 0. Now this doesn't have to be the most precise thing in the world. I've got the boring bar flush with the end by both feel and look. That's close enough for this. So then we're going to back it off by 0.2, and I've got a stop on this lathe that I'll engage, so it stops the bore every time right there. Go back 0.2, 0.1. 0.2. And just to double check, I'm going to put my dial indicator over here so that I can see when it's almost there. That'll give me a little double check safety on it. Probably want to go to about, and these want to be able to make sure if this detonates, you can get a punch. You know, if the center breaks, you want to be able to get a punch up and knock this out of there. So if you make it too tight, there isn't much room. Really just need a little bit of a shoulder for this, so we're gonna go to maybe, let's do like, that's 2.5. 2.5. Well, it looks pretty good here. Maybe 2.5, 2.55, somewhere in there. Should be pretty nice. So we got a little bit more to go. 0.4845. See, that lines up on this bearing. That's close. I think we're going to take another pass. We'll go to, yeah, one more pass will be about 5.3. I think I like that a little better. We'll take one more. Oh, okay. Once again, this doesn't have to be exact, just to mention. Pretty nice finish too. Look at that. 253. 253. Yeah. Right about 253. You can see that's going to land us just inside of that seal, or outside of that seal, which I think that'll be about right. So we're going to run that. Next, I'll set up. We'll part this off and set this part aside for later. This edge really isn't sharp. I don't think I need to round that. So we'll set this aside, and then we'll go and bore that to final depth, throw a snap ring groove in it, and then chuck this one up, do the same thing. So we're set to part. We'll part this off. Alright, so we got it parted, and we're about to finish boring this. It needs to go to the outside diameter of the bearing, and I double checked it. Spec at 2.8125. So we're going to try to go for 2.812. Just have a little bit of tightness there. We can always check the fit, modify if need be. We're at 2.525, so we got takeoff 0.91, I believe. I got it written down. 0.290, I guess. So we're going to start boring. I set this up exactly the same as before. The stop's still set. I normally use a shorter boring bar, but I've got the stop and everything set up, so we're just going to run this. I got the indicator back where it goes. Let's cut this back and check our size and fit. And once that's done, we'll throw a snap ring groove in, flip this around, finish up the back side, take this bore down like we did the other one, or the outside. This will be done. think that's good. This part is very warm. Now we gotta measure. Got our snap ring groove to hold it in there. Flip it around and bore this back the right size to just get outside this blue seal. Right now it's in here because I didn't bore all the way through because of the jaws. And then the only thing left will be to grease holes here. Be to drill a hole in here that can line up with the grease zerk, and then you position this hole at 90 degrees to this hole and this hole. That way when you shoot grease in here, it goes around this groove and in from two sides, and you grease the whole thing. If you line the holes up, it just goes in, you only grease half of it. And then inside you can see there's also holes here to get to the pin, so this will grease everything. Okay, so we're going to cut the snap ring groove. We got the width. I took a small boring bar, an old one, and ground it. So the tip is supposed to be 0.102 wide. So I ground that to the spec for that. And I measured out from the base, so it should be in the right spot. I'm going to touch. Hopefully it cuts okay. And I'll measure where I'm cutting and adjust if we need to, and then we'll cut the groove. This side of it should be done. So we got our groove now. Used our cutter. Not the best cutter for sure, but we got a groove. Moment of truth, here's the snap ring. It looks like it measures up. There we go. Fits in real nice. That's in there solid. It's measured up. This isn't the best measure ever, but looks like we're probably measure at the end easier. 133 about. Not very well measured. This is 131. That should work. That'll go in there, be held in. Let's flip this around in the truck and finish up the backside, and this one will be done. Tripled it. 250. Look at that. See this one here, this ID, 250, this one's 253, 250, so this one's a hair bigger, but it'll be the same thing, and I'll bore the inside of this one out the same as that one, and need to stick this out of the truck more if I set it down. I think I might take both sizes down. I can always weld one in later, but I'll finish up the inside of this guy, and I'll take a 3.5 and a 3.25, because I really just need to make sure I get the one in by the transmission done, and I can bore the outside while I'm there, and if I need, I can come turn this one back down to this size as well, and if not, I'll I'll install it as is. It doesn't make a huge difference. I just want to make sure that it's very egged out. I have a big enough one, and if it's needs the extra material for strength, I'll cut it back small. It's really pretty easy at this point. So I think that's what we're doing for tonight. It's getting pretty late. It's time to call it night, and we'll get these in the frame tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like it and follow along.